Well, he's in that Tesla flying around the world.
You just disparage him? I'm going to call to order the March 5th, 2025 meeting of the Evesham Municipal Utilities Authority. Please read the opening statement.
Both adequate and electronic notice of this meeting pursuant to both the Open Public Meetings Act and Emergency Remote Meeting Protocol advised in Local Finance Notice 2020-21 has been given by the Office Manager of the Evesham Municipal Utilities Authority on February 6, 2025 in the following manner. 1. Emailing written notice to the Burlington County Times and the Courier Post. 2. Posting written notice of the official Evesham EMUA website. 3. Filing written notice with the clerks of Evesham and Medford. Written notice was posted at the authority's business address located at 100 Sharp Road, Marlton, New Jersey, 08053 on February 6, 2025. This statement shall be entered into the minutes of this meeting.
Okay, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right.
So,
Roll call.
Mr. Wilmot, not present. Mr. Dross?
Here.
Mr. Kipnis?
here.
Mr. Sweet?
Here.
Mr. Schmidt?
Here.
Mr. Tenza?
Here.
Mr. Waters?
Aye, here. We have a motion to approve the meeting minutes from the February 5th, 2025 meeting.
So move. Second.
Second.
Does anyone have any additions, deletions, any changes to the meeting? Okay, seeing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Kipnis?
Aye.
Mr. Sweeney?
Aye.
Mr. Schmidt?
Aye.
Mr. Tenza?
Aye.
Mr. Waters?
Aye. Public comment, seeing no one from the public, I'm going to close public comment. Financial, resolution 2025-30, payment of bills. Can I have a motion, please?
So move.
Second.
Does anyone have any questions for Laura on the bill list?
Yeah, just the payment to the legal counsel was a little over $11,000. And the average of the prior 8 months was significantly lower, like the $11,000 was 3.5 times. Are we entering in negotiations or?
So we are entering in contract negotiations. They are up this year in July 1st will be up. But we've had a couple disciplinary matters and also one mutual release of employment.
Okay. Good enough, thanks.
Anyone else have any questions? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Kipnis?
Aye.
Mr. Sweeney?
Aye.
Mr. Schmidt?
Aye.
Mr. Tenza?
Aye.
Mr. Waters?
Aye. Resolution 2025-31, refunds, credits, and cancellations. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved. Second.
Okay, does anyone have any questions on this list? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Kipnis?
Aye.
Mr. Sweeney?
Aye.
Mr. Schmidt?
Aye.
Mr. Tenza?
Aye.
Mr. Waters?
Aye. Resolution 2025-32, reject bids and authorize re-advertisement for bids for an information technology consultant. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved. Second.
Laura?
I can take this one.
Oh, I'm sorry, Chris.
Yeah, we did if the board remembers, we did a competitive contract, just looking for new IT professionals, consultants. And we received the bids and reviewed them and started our scoring process. And we feel that there's a couple of things that we wanted to require after having received the bids and looking at the actual proposals that we wanted to go back and were important enough to reject bids and start over, namely interviews with the companies and actually require them to physically analyze the system that we have currently and put a focus on the transition. So that's the purpose of this.
Okay, does anyone have any questions for Chris on this?
Is there any gap, or when does the existing contract expire?
So it has already expired, but we're just on a month to month with them until we,
Okay, have no more questions, can you please call the roll?
Mr. Kipnis,
Aye.
Mr. Sweeney,
Aye.
Mr. Schmidt,
Aye.
Mr. Penza,
Aye.
Mr. Waters.
Aye. Oh, and Chris, can you mark that I abstain on the bill list for PO 25-01422 Florida Poetry
Yes,
for
sir.
conflict of interest?
Thank you.
Thank you. Resolution 2025-33, award of contract in excess of $44,000 to Lakeside Equipment Corporation, the amount of $220,319 for Lakeside retro mat replacement at Elmwood wastewater treatment plant. Can I have a motion, please?
So move.
Second.
Okay. Jim?
Yes, this would go with the Elmwood plant. It is to take out any debris that comes in the headworks, basically like a mechanical bar screen.
Yeah.
It cleans the rags as they go up, put them in a bag, nice, neat. The other one we have in place is about 20 years old and it's just starting to fail. Bottom bearing is just about shot. So we're gonna install it ourselves. We'll get a crane to come in and hook it up electrically.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions for Jim?
Is this sole source because?
The equipment, yeah, they make the equipment, nobody else has it, and we did put it out for bid.
Yeah, we did go out to bid, but not as a sole source.
Okay.
We did have all the specifications and a lot of bidders actually picked up the bid packets, but then it turned out we only received one bid, which was from Lakeside, and that's the brand that we
Yeah,
got there.
okay, because normally you have a little chart there to explain it. Okay, that's fine.
Okay. Does anyone else have any questions? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Kipnis,
Aye.
Mr. Sweeney,
Aye.
Mr. Schmidt,
Aye.
Mr. Penza,
Aye.
Mr. Waters.
Aye. Resolution 2025-36, award of professional contract to Connor Strong and Buckaloo in the amount not to exceed $25,000 for our health insurance broker. Can I have a motion, please?
So move.
Second.
Laura?
So as you know, we've been experiencing rising costs with the state health benefit plan in the past couple of years. So we advertised for proposals for our health insurance broker to explore alternative health insurance solutions. And we received 3 proposals. Connor Strong and Buckaloo submitted the strongest proposal, and it addressed each bullet point in our RFP. It clearly defined their strategy to market, procure, transition, and support their client in a health insurance solution. They propose a dedicated team of 10 very experienced individuals to handle our account. They propose a flat fee of $18,000 for their services, which I believe to be reasonable. So we recommend a 1-year contract to Connor Strong to explore other health insurance options. And the goal is to obtain cost savings while maintaining the integrity of our benefits.
Does anyone have any questions for Laura? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Kipnis,
Aye.
Mr. Sweeney,
Aye.
Mr. Schmidt,
I'm gonna abstain, as I have a conflict of interest.
Mr. Penza,
Aye.
Mr. Waters.
Aye. Executive Director's Report.
Yes, thank you. Thankfully, we have no violations against for the month of February. However, we continue to turn with some water main breaks. We've had 2 up until today. And I think this is probably at least the 4th month in a row we've had a water main break during our board meetings. So for the month of February up until today, we've had 3. All 3 of them we've done in-house. We've had 3 discolored water complaints. One we believe is because we were inspecting the interconnects between our communities with Medford. Cambridge Park, we believe is because of a recent water main break, and the other one also was probably due to a recent water main break. We had no odors in the water. That was fine this month. Really don't have much to report other than we have AEA next week. I know both George and Byron will be attending. I'm thankful for that. Laura and I, and the rest of the team, they submitted their budgets. Laura and I were procuring and, getting everything ready to present the budget to both Lou and Mike, I believe. So we're working on that. During the last month, we had them really nasty windstorms. I was in contact with, the mayor and, some of the other officials here in town, whether they need our help with, the windstorm that was going on. There was a lot of outages all over the place, so we offered our help with that, and they offered their help if we needed it as well. Thankful to them. We had a sanitary survey that the DEP came in on, and they spent significant time here. It's kind of weird. They call it a sanitary survey, but it's actually involves all clean drinking water. Why they call it sanitary, I don't know why. But they came up with 3 things that they needed us to make adjustments on, and as of last Friday was our deadline to make all the adjustments, which we have done. We're just waiting on one of the items for tonight, the resolution for the interconnection agreement. That's pretty much all I have. I have another question concerning our, concerning the enterprise fleet leasing. As you know, the whole concept of going this way was to get into the green, thinking of things, hybrids, electric vehicles, whatnot. We don't feel that, it is the right time for us to go fully electric, but we're not opposed to going to hybrids. But this year, some of our fleet is due up. My question to you folks are, the traditional American muscle, Chevy, Ford, Dodge did not make a hybrid for this model year coming up. They gave us 3 selections, which were Hyundai, Kia, and a Toyota. My question or poll to you folks, would you folks be opposed to a Toyota hybrid vehicle?
What type of vehicles?
It's a Toyota Highlander.
Oh, Highlander. And how many are we buying?
These 3, I
Leasing?
believe.
4, yeah.
4. We're releasing them. And
Yeah, I'm sorry,
as of
leasing,
right
I know,
now,
leasing, I
this is just something Chris and I had thought, like, let's poll you folks before we pull any, decisions on that type of vehicle, only because of perception.
Yeah.
But not the American muscle vehicle.
Is that replacing Explorers?
Yes,
Where's the truck made?
it's made in America.
You said it's a hybrid, right?
Hybrid, correct.
We wouldn't have a hybrid option if we went with a traditional American. That's kind of what brought this up. It's kind of either go the hybrid route, or for this replacement phase, if we wanted to go American, it just couldn't be a hybrid
Just be
option.
fuel.
So that's all.
Yeah, but what's the cost difference?
Not much.
It's more money with the hybrid. Is it more money with the hybrid, lease wise?
The hybrid is a little bit more, but then we will get more
More
on resale
for
as well,
It's
so
resale.
that's not really the difference for us at least. It's kind of.
Yeah.
Neither here nor there.
So as you look at some of the enterprise numbers, I believe it was asked last meeting or the meeting prior to that about, do we really feel that we're getting the significance that we're looking for out of enterprise? Keep in mind, the long-term goal for enterprise and the authority is a 10-year plan, it's a 10-year outlook to save $640,000. Now that'll fluctuate, but I can't imagine it's going to fluctuate in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Maybe in the plus 140 or the below 140, but I don't imagine it's going to be in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. So as we progress towards the complete change out of our fleet, where we get out of the vehicles that we own and get into the full service of the enterprise promise, that's when we're going to start seeing the returns come back. Because right now, the returns that we're getting are on vehicles that we own that are like 20+ years old and really ain't in that great shape already. So that's when we're going to see the actual benefit of enterprise. Well, that's what our goal is. Again, we can exit out of enterprise at any time. We have no long-term guarantees. So we want to see it get to its fruition to see how it actually really works. And if we do get that savings, that's a win-win for us. But again, the whole concept of going this way from day one was to be more environmental and green friendly. We're just not ready to go the whole route electrical. We're afraid that if something was to happen, we're not going to have the fuel electric source to get them fueled up or charged up. We felt hybrid was the next best, and right now, there is nothing offered in that hybrid model for us in the American Muscle vision. It may come out later in the year, but this is something that Chris and I were talking about as we move forward with the next procurement of vehicles. Would you guys be opposed to that? Yes, it is made in America.
No, I know that.
So Byron, oh, God.
What is is there any infrastructure costs? Like, do
No.
we have the charging infrastructure or anything like that?
No, the hybrids work awful. It's like almost like an alternator, like.
It's not a plug-in.
It's not a plug-in.
Okay, yeah, I just want to make sure that
It's like the old bicycles back in the day, the old swings, you just flip the light the light over on the front tire and charge that light,
Yeah,
so.
yeah, because I know companies that I deal with, they're concerned with replacing the electric is you had to put the infrastructure into someone's home, and the cost for the infrastructure was considerably more than the cost of the vehicle.
Zero infrastructure costs for this particular model.
With those vehicle rentals, right? How long do we have that vehicle with us? As long as we have the contracts?
No, so the way enterprise works is there becomes a cost benefit analysis. So we'll own that vehicle, we'll lease that vehicle to it matures. And then when we satisfy that mature age, it starts to become, a valuable vehicle. They can turn around literally and within a month or two, highly unlikely, and say, hey, let's get rid of that hybrid because it's worth so much more than you paid.
And I'm thinking the trucks that we have. Looking at the trucks, the vehicles,
Right?
that not the hybrids. It's the same thing when it gets to that pinnacle.
Correct. When it gets to that pinnacle, but where we paid enough into it, now it's going to start generating money, it's time to sell that. And they monitor all that.
All right.
They monitor that whole program. They kind of tell us and say, hey, it's time to sell.
All right.
And that's the value with the lease, right?
Yes.
Byron did have a question. He said, he put it in the chat. He said, what makes it considered American made, just assembly? I assume he's referring to the Toyotas. That's just based on looking at where Toyota has their assemblies are. They have a bunch of, I think they manufacture.
Yeah, I asked the question in the context of tariffs and a potential refinement of what a tariff would be applied towards. Everything's in motion now, except for, the three US automakers. Even those are tenuous because some are made in Canada and brought in, and those have temporary relief.
I believe Toyotas are mostly made in Indiana, I think. As much as your Chevys and Fords, I believe. I could be a little off, but I think they're pretty much the same.
But again, that would be something Byron and Enterprise would monitor for us. They're not gonna lead us down the road that's gonna not be cost effective for us or them.
Good point. Good point. Thanks.
Any other questions?
We're good.
We you need to vote?
No, I mean, it was just a general poll.
I think-
You guys opposed to
I
it.
think to summarize, it's just, Jeff and I were talking about, I can't necessarily picture a Toyota logo on a police car. Right, and just a thought of a municipal vehicle with a foreign brand, it's kind of, I think what we're playing, it's like, do we have any, it makes.
We don't wanna cast a bad image.
Yeah, it makes the most
No,
sense
I
to
get
do
that.
the hybrid, but people may have feelings about that, I think that's just kind of what we're getting at. Does anyone have any strong feelings about that? It would be a little out of the ordinary, I guess.
So that I just Googled as you were talking, Chris. Like, so they make the Highlander in Princeton, Indiana.
Okay.
So this massive plant there. It's like massive plant there where they make these. So I've been listening to the conversation. I'm kind of split on this. Like, and I get it that it's made in the U.S. If we do this to like. I don't know. Do we just put some press release out there that this is consistent with our forward thinking policy, but it is made and assembled in the U.S. Do we need to say that?
I don't think we were looking to put a press release out, we were just looking.
No,
I don't know. I mean, I'm just thinking because Chris, your point is right. I mean, if you saw a police vehicle next to you and it was a Toyota or a Kia or something like that, would you do it like a double take? Like, why is my municipality not using Ford or Chevy or an American-made manufacturer? It's just this is my thought.
Optics, the
That's-
optics of it.
Yeah, I know, but that, to be honest, that's such an American thing. You go overseas and you look at their police cars and they're not, the English police cars are not made in England. They're the Italian police car. It's an American thing. I see where you're going with it. I understand that. And when you buy a Ford or a Chevy and you see that ultimately those are American companies and it hits their bottom line. But when you look at a Ford and a Chevy and you dissect that Ford or a Chevy, there are so many individual components that cross from Mexico to the US up to Canada and back for final assembly. It's not a fully American car other than it's a full American company getting the bottom line, hit plus or minus.
That's the same with Harley Davidson.
Well, thank you for that, Lou. You're right, but we're not talking about foreign cars. We're talking about, and I agree with Mike now that he brings that point up, pulling up next to, in context, an American municipality, a police car is going to be Ford, Chevy, so forth and so on. And that it's an American-owned brand, even though there are parts in there that come from overseas. It's definitely considered American-made, and the optics are such that. So I kind of stand behind Mike on this.
Bottom line is, we're trying to be a green initiative. That's what we're trying to do. That was the whole concept of going with Enterprise as a fleet maintenance program. To get into the green parts, that was the whole pitch.
I guess would the board be more comfortable waiting a year, the next year, and see if an American brand puts it out and then revisit this?
Yeah, well, a lot of this does come from, this is kind of a time where Enterprise is saying, great time to do something with this group of vehicles. And that's kind of what starts the ball rolling for us, so.
Well, it's to the benefit of the ratepayer.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, while I may give a double take at the police car, that's a Toyota, to play devil's advocate, if that police officer were to look back at me into my car and say, well, this was actually, in being a steward of your money that you pay us, I think this was the best decision for the fleet and for the municipality and the best use of your money, I would probably be satisfied with that answer. That's just me personally, but I'm glad we brought it up because there are feelings clearly about that. And I think my double take would be satisfied if I heard the reasons why they bought not an American owned.
Yeah, but sometimes with social media, people
Sure.
shoot first, aim second.
Sure. Well, it's something to think about.
Sold. Next.
When do you need an answer? I mean, do you want to answer
Yes.
tonight?
It's not to say that Ford may come out with something, but obviously, this is honestly for our budget to move forward.
Go for it.
Well, we're budgeting for the replacements anyway, so I don't think like today we need to say like it's gonna be, Highlanders or it's gonna be this. We're gonna budget for that number and they're roughly the
And
same.
how many trucks did you say we're getting? 6?
This is
Four.
four, yeah.
We want to split the baby and do 2 and 2. That way we test the waters and we only got 2.
Go for it. You know.
I'm just trying to offer it out there. I don't have an opinion either way, to be
You
honest.
know, dude, with the Trump, last year brought it up, if I remember, 2 years ago, that you wanted to start go green with the vehicles.
Yeah,
And
that was the whole initiative, and honestly, the
Yeah.
initiative came from Mayor Cancel back in 2020, I believe, 2019. When the new administration took over about the whole green, it was actually their concept to get involved with Enterprise. But their fleet contained so much heavy vehicles that there was just really no green initiative there.
Mhm.
And we stayed on board for 1, the green, because we could diverse our fleet into some green vehicles. 2, because the pitch of the savings to our ratepayers.
And most of our vehicles are the bigger vehicles that we don't really have any options for hybrids, so these are part of our smaller group of vehicles where we even have the opportunity to go that route, so.
Well, let's face it, we're gonna piss off 50% of the people, and 50% of the people don't like it.
Sure.
Right, thoughts? I mean,
I'm good with it. Go for
you're
it.
good with it? Mike? Rich?
No, I'm not good with it.
Yeah, I'm struggling with it, to be honest with you. And personally, I'm fine with it. Okay, personally, I'm fine with it. But as a public group that we have here, I'm struggling with it, and so I don't know if I'm fine with it. I think, and I know there's an operational need, Jeff, and I'm not trying to be a stick in the mud on this. I don't know. I think we need to just pause a little bit, but that's just me.
I think with a split board, let's put it off a year and.
Well, we can just go to the
Yeah,
fuel.
we just do different, we just do American brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the time, you know, I have no problem pushing off the hybrid, at the time to start to get rid of these vehicles, our values in getting rid of our vehicles now. The vehicles we currently procure is the values to, we're getting the best bang for the dollar right now on that vehicle. So for the rate of the year, we're just
Yeah.
depreciated to where there's really not the
No,
value.
no, I know, I get that, but what's it, every year, every so many years, we switch out our vehicles, correct?
Yeah, we
So,
can go next round.
next round, we'll do hybrids and we'll just stick with the traditional.
Yeah,
vehicles.
I'm not opposed to that whatsoever. That's why I brought it up.
Alright,
Because it was a concern for both Chris and I, because we know the value of what we're trying to do here, but we also know the public's perception.
yeah,
That's why I asked.
I prefer not to have a split board on this, let's just stick with the. Conventional vehicles, and next time around we'll revisit, and hopefully there'll be an option.
Perfectly fine with that. Escalates, Chris.
Let me guess who's driving those.
Yeah, let's not go overboard.
Okay, motion to approve a proposal from T&M Associates in the amount of 26,800 for arc flash analysis for Kings Grant wastewater treatment plant. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved. Second.
Jim?
I got it.
You got it?
This is just a continuation of the arc flash studies for our wastewater facilities. After this, we're moving on to our water facilities and our collections facilities and distribution facilities. Basic arc flash study is T&M will come in with their group of people and identify areas of risk for electrical shock or electrical overload where persons can be hurt, and identify and mark them areas out, kind of like warning areas. This is kind of like it's a JIF requirements. It covers the authority, you know, if we ever was to miss something.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for Jeff?
I just had, Jeff, I have one question. I was looking at their proposal. When they talk about labels, it says they'll install labels for an additional fee. Is that just like didn't understand that. Like that, I know it's not a major point. And then the training piece. So training is included.
Well, the training will be with, with John Ellis, our safety coordinator. They'll go around with them and he'll mark out with everything that is considered a hazard, potential hazard. I believe there are a lot of labels included. I just don't know if they're all included. This is, actually, I apologize. I really didn't study up on that part. Only because it was a continuation of identifying risks, electrical risk. I really don't know what them fees are, to be honest with you, Mike. I can get back to you.
I don't think it's a big cost. I just thought, for $20 or so $1,000.
Oh, no.
We would have to pay additional fees for labels, laminated labels. I mean, come on. But on the training piece, I mean, and again, I was just looking at that, like, what do they mean by that? But it looks like to me it's standard kind of language in their arc flash proposal.
Right.
But okay. I'm good with this, Jeff. I just saw that in their.
So they do the basic labeling. They're not just going to say, "Hey, you need a label." They're going to do the basic labeling. I guess if we want above and beyond, we can contract them, but we have a label maker ourselves.
Okay.
Any other questions?
But I will clarify that for next meeting, though.
Okay,
Thanks, Jeff.
please call the roll.
Mr. Kipnis,
Aye.
Mr. Sweeney,
Aye.
Mr. Schmidt.
Aye.
Mr. Tenza.
Aye.
Mr. Waters.
Resolution 2025-37, authorizing the execution of an emergency water agreement between the Evesham Municipal Utilities Authority and the Township of Medford. Can I have a motion, please?
So move. Second.
Who's got
Second.
Jeff?
So as I alluded to earlier, this is the interconnection agreement that all communities are supposed to have with the communities that they share a water source with. Although we do not purchase water from Medford, it is certainly an emergency use only, but there has to be an agreement in place with the DEP. We had an agreement in place for one of our interconnects that was on Gordon's Road for many, many years. We've just included two within the last couple of years. And with this sanitary survey, it was discovered that we didn't have them too, so it was just a matter of us getting with the powers to be in Medford, ourselves, Kelly reviewing it, and you folks to sign off on it, and that would be that. It's only for emergency use one way or the other.
Okay, so it goes both ways, right? So
Correct.
we could get from them, they can get from us.
Correct.
Kelly, with, emergency use being a defined term, do we capitalize that in the agreement?
Sure, yeah, we can make that of it, yeah.
Okay. Any
Jeff, does this help us at the southern end for,
No,
no?
no, it really comes down to, hydraulics. I mean, if they have more pressure than us, you know, it really is gonna be in use for like catastrophic loss, if there's fires and things like that. Yes, if we need to connect into them because we need to have a fire source, it would help out. It wouldn't help us out if we said, hey, we need more water in that area today, unless our systems were all shut down, then it would. We couldn't run them both continuously, you know, because our pressure is greater than theirs. So we would push up against them. So that's where defined emergency would come in. If they had a complete loss of water, we'd be able to feed them all day long. If we lost water, like the next interconnect we have is one break down the road here. We lost water here, yep, they can open that thing up and we'd be served water. So in the grand scheme of things, there was a fire down there, we lost pressure, we lost water, we couldn't provide water, we can open that up and they would absolutely be able to provide for us.
Okay. Any other questions?
I just have, just maybe, just one other question was on the term, and I understand why we're doing this, Jeff, and I appreciate your explanation. But do we need to have a term in here? So we just say, you know, we have this agreement in place, and I'm not saying Medford Township would, you know, just say something happens between the two entities, well, we would want to review the contract. So is that something that we should add to the contract, or is it written in a way that if something like that were to occur, we have the legal standing to resolve?
I don't believe, and Kelly, correct me if I'm wrong, that a term would be required, only because we are using Medford as emergency interconnect as well as they're using us for emergency interconnect. The only way to I guess, to get rid of the term would be is to get rid of the interconnect.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense. It's almost like a shared service agreement in a sense that unless one party wants to stop it, at some point we would, provide notice, but it can continue in perpetuity. It's nothing that has a, a required end date.
There's no.
Okay, all right. So there's no real value to having it's because, okay, all right. I just wanted to ask that.
Yes.
This came out of the DEP review?
The DEP, so this sanitary survey, it was a very long and vigorous survey. They asked if we had interconnection agreements. We have one with Mount Laurel, we have one with New Jersey American, obviously because we're buying water from them. We had one existing that I believe Wayne had done at one time, or Lima did it for Borton's. It was us that said, well, we have two new interconnects, and he said, well, do you have them? And we didn't. So we actually had it draft. I remember we had it in draft. It just never got completed. And actually, you sent me the draft, I believe, Wayne.
Yeah.
We had it in draft, and it was for whatever reason, everybody exchanged it, but it was just never signed off on. So we retook a look at it, and we included Wellesley Way, which was just done last summer. So yeah, it took the sanitary survey for us to see that we didn't have it for this particular one. That so
Gotcha.
Now we have one that has all three.
Thanks.
Okay, any other questions? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Giftis,
Aye.
Mr. Sweeney,
Aye.
Mr. Schmidt,
Aye.
Mr. Tenza,
Aye.
Mr. Waters.
Aye. Engineers report, Wayne.
Yes, nothing to report on Southside Water Tank. Route 70 water main contractor says they're gonna be starting to make those final connections in the next week or two. Nothing new on Route 70 sewer main. Elmwood Storage Building in general, the shell is complete, the windows are in. Basically the work is on the exterior utilities, sidewalks, curbs and some interior finishings. So they're looking to wrap that up by April.
Okay, resolution 2025-35, approval of change order number 2 in the amount of $53,139.54 to NACOM Companies Incorporated for the Elmwood Storage Building. Can I have a motion, please?
Second.
Yeah, this change order count comes about mainly due to the delays caused by our problems with the code officials. Before this went out to bid, we submitted the plans to the Department of Community Development, and we got to go ahead to go to bid. When the contractors submitted for their permits, the code department decided they didn't agree with our designation for the usage of the storage building. We felt they were just plain semantics. It could have been either designation, but they insisted on a certain designation, which caused some minor changes to the plans, but more importantly, it caused over a 3-month delay in proceeding with this contract. The contractor, feeling that he had a good set of plans to go to the code department with, he had released the order for the building, the prefabricated building, so he could keep his schedule. Well, that order had to be rescinded, and there were price increases with that order. Also, the 3.5-month delay made him work into the winter months. He had to weatherproof his construction equipment. He had to bring in heaters. So it was just a domino effect. That delay created a lot of additional work and additional charges to the contractor, and they're entitled to payment for that.
Wayne,
I get it.
Rudy, you have any questions?
No.
Anyone have any questions for Wayne?
Yeah, I have a question. So you're saying the code department held this up for 3 months?
Yes,
And it's our code department?
yes, yes.
Because I mean, that's ridiculous, 3 months being held up. And the weather thing, all those companies deal with the weather, so.
Can we quantify this and bring this up and raise this issue? Rich is right in bringing this up. There's a cost to delay, and we're all in the same family.
Right, and we try to be proactive, try to submit the final plans to the code department before we go to bid, so that we can come to agreement on things like the designated usage of the building beforehand. And in this case, that did not work.
Should one of us join the other boards, do cross pollination of boards, so that no, I'm not saying for our sake, I'm saying for the cooperation of all boards to help each other out, a kind of a liaison. Should we ask Jackie if we can, for the sake of the township, start to cross pollinate, board members, at least have one on another board? This is expensive.
When they reviewed the plans initially, they agreed with our designation, and then when a permit was submitted, we had it designated differently, or?
Right, I
Or
don't know what
wanted
their
they wanted
review
it
consisted of before we went to bid, but they told us they didn't see any issues with our plans at the time. And then, and the use designation is on the plans, it has to be for an architectural design. And it was never challenged beforehand, but they basically told us they didn't agree with the designation. There was a period where we were arguing back and forth on that, but in the long run, we were not successful in our arguments, and we changed the plans and got the contractor moving again.
Probably worth a discussion.
Yeah,
I mean, 'cause yeah, I mean, what happens if it was $1 million?
It's ridiculous.
Is the code department, are they professionals like yourself? Or is it,
The code department, I'd say they're professionals. I don't think they're any licensed engineers, but they are certified code officials. That they're and I got their point when I sat in on a meeting. They're trying to protect the community. In one case, they were saying, well, if there was ever a fire in this, we have to follow this designation because we have to protect the firefighters that come in here. I see their point. I just wish it had been raised before we went to bid.
Well, maybe they want to pay for the difference because they caused a timing issue. You know, they're right, but in their issues they raised, but why would,
I think what we should do,
pose a ridiculous issue that they pay for it?
I think what we should do as a board is direct Jeff to go meet with the code office and find out what's, what the timeline is and how do we better address this so we don't get into this issue again.
Right.
Totally agree.
Great idea. Great idea.
I have no problem with that, and I'll certainly do that, but as Wayne said, when they approve the pre-drawings, Wayne goes out to bid. It goes out to bid, and all these contractors bid on it, regardless of what contractor it is. The minute they start submitting their permits to start build the design that Limo done, now the code office is raising question on why. That's unfair to Wayne's department in some retrospect. Why, you said, okay, move forward with your plans, but now hold up because we don't like your plans. I can certainly meet with Anthony Sacamano and the folks up there and say, hey, what's the process here?
Yeah, and just let them know the issue that we ran into is costing us money when this doesn't get, but let's see what the timeline is and have, and see what are we or what are they or whoever need to do differently so we don't run into this problem again.
Isn't, go
Wayne-
ahead. Go ahead.
Wayne is right. It should have been before the bid came out. I agree with Wayne. Sorry, Mike.
Oh, no problem, Rich. I'm looking at, is it NACOM? Did I say that right, Wayne? Like their letter where they talk about the sequence of events that happened. So it looks like we received a letter, or they received a letter on July 12th after having the permit application for 16 days, I guess.
Right.
They deny the permit application, and then the pre-engineered building was scheduled to be released a week later. And then because of the delay, I can't believe what I'm reading. It caused our building order to be canceled and taken out of production. Which that part, and all the comments about what happened with the township, notwithstanding, that part right there, kind of makes me a little bit distressed. Come on. I mean, we had, we have this construction project in place. We had a little hiccup with the application, and because we had this 1 week window to get it resolved, it wasn't resolved. They basically take the building out of production. I mean, I don't that one, and how much of that resulted in us now having to pay another $65,000 or whatever. And I know they break down the costs and all the other pages here.
One of the reasons was uncertainty. If the code department had required changes to the building that was being fabricated, and you had to change the building in a major way, it could have cost more. In this case, the change is minor, but that wasn't known back in July.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the four items on the denial list. It looks like to me the gas detection system was the one that would have resulted in a change in plans. The other stuff to me is just classifications and, providing information on what commodities are going to be included in the building. But hey, whatever we decide to do, one of the things we do as a board is when we approve our budget, we do, the township sends us a letter saying they're going to take 5% of our budget and we're going to give them whatever. I think last year, Laura can correct me, it was like, I don't know, $800,000 or something like that. Maybe I got that number wrong. Here's an opportunity to say, wait a second, you just cost us 65 grand here. Let's talk about this. Maybe there's some other solution here. All right, that's enough. I think my cold is getting the best of me.
I like Ed's idea to have Jeff go over and find out what's what. But Mike's right. There's some bite in it. And even if we just bring it up one time, it's going to do a lot of good for Mayor Veazey or whoever is in the administration to say we all have to cooperate with each other. We all in a timely manner.
I think there's a much more diplomatic way to handle that, and that's the way.
That's what I
we
mean.
want to go in.
Do the diplomatic way first.
Jack is going to talk to the department and report back. Thank you.
Yeah, agreed.
Instead of giving 4.9.
No disagreement, Ed.
That's not the discussion, George.
The best way to do it, Ed.
Yeah.
All right, so we know what's going on, Jeff, you're gonna talk to them.
Yeah, I'll reach out to
understanding,
the code
because-
department and the powers to be and ask for a meeting and say, hey, listen.
Yeah, I want to make sure, just let know, I don't like to do these change orders and I want to, let's try to minimize change orders. I think we're getting to too many recently and I'd like to minimize that. All right, update, well building six. Oh, I'm sorry, please, sorry, that's got me going on there. Please call the roll.
Mr. Fitness.
Aye.
Mr. Sweeney,
Aye.
Mr. Schmidt,
Aye.
Mr. Tenza,
Aye.
Mr. Waters.
Aye.
Okay,
Okay.
well, Schultes is out there this week installing the new motor on the well pump and the pump itself. They've chlorinated the well. They'll come back on Friday, I believe, to test things and try to
Get
that up.
out today.
get that up and running. So
Okay,
well 6 should be coming into place. And with UV disinfection, the contractor has started work, but basically they're working on the concrete foundations for various items that are going to be required out there, but they have a good start so far. Nothing new on Heritage Village water main. We're waiting for the restorations in the spring. Heritage Village Phase 2, they passed their 2-year anniversary, so they did the 2-year inspection of their work. It all came through clean. So we have a final change order in the good direction.
all right, resolution 2025-34, approval of change order number 1 in the credit amount of $79,822 to Vortex Services LLC for the Heritage Village sewer rehabilitation. Can I have a motion, please?
I'll happily make a motion on it.
There you go, okay.
Second.
George, why do you always make the easy ones?
We're getting money back. We're getting money back.
Does anyone have any questions for Wayne on this one?
Thank you, Wayne.
Thank you, Wayne. All
Thank you,
right,
Wayne.
call the roll.
Mr. Fitness,
Aye.
Mr. Sweeney,
Aye.
Mr. Schmidt.
Aye.
Mr. Tenza.
Aye.
Mr. Waters.
Aye.
Cardinal Sweet Gum Cottonwood water mains, waiting for the spring to come for restorations. Sinelli Farm lift station, waiting to see if we get any comments back from the application to DEP before we go out to bid. Elmwood and Woodstream SCADA, Allied Controls has been out there. They still have a little more work to do. Hopefully this coming month they will get that done. The generator replacement at Elmwood, that design is underway. And Kings Grant water main replacement, we have surveyed out there. I don't think we're even done with it yet, but we're working on it.
Motion to approve proposal from Richard Alimo Associates in the amount of $58,450 to prepare specifications for the redevelopment repairs to the pumps and motors for well number 5 and 8, advertise for bids, recommend award of construction contracts and oversee construction. Can I have a motion, please?
So move.
Second.
Yeah, this proposal, I modeled it after the work we did 7 years ago, for wells, 5 and 9, no, 6 and 9, I think it was. In either case, I just copied the same amount of hours that we spent on, the last project and brought them into my spreadsheet with the current rates.
All right, anyone have any questions for Wayne? Dana, please call the roll.
Mr. Kipnis,
Aye.
Mr. Sweeney,
Aye.
Mr. Schmidt.
Aye.
Mr. Tenza.
Aye.
Mr. Waters.
Aye. All right, New Pine Grove Pump Station Rehabilitation. Motion to approve a proposal from Richard Alamo Associates in the amount of $250,540 to prepare specifications for rehabilitation for Pine Grove Pump Station, advertise for bids, recommend award of construction contract, and oversee the construction. Can I have a motion, please?
So move.
Second.
Wayne?
And this one too, we modeled it after what we're doing currently at the Sally Farms. It's a similar pump station, multidisciplined approach to upgrade this pump station. There's a little more work here than at Sinelli. It's an older pump station and wasn't designed to the same standards. So we've got a little more to do here than Sinelli.
Okay, does anyone have any questions for Wayne?
Yeah, I'm not gonna drill down on it, Wayne, but it's just seems a little bit high.
Just, I know the hours that it takes for this particular project.
Unless a $1.2 million isn't the right estimate engineering.
Well,
You
we
know.
will see.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
get you. Yep.
Anyone else? Please call the roll.
Mr. Kipnis,
Aye.
Mr. Sweeney,
Aye.
Mr. Schmidt.
Aye.
Mr. Tenza.
Aye.
Mr. Waters.
Aye. Motion to approve S3W3 for Bahima Indian Restaurant, 36 Route 70 West, Marlton Green Shopping Center. Can I have a motion, please?
So move.
Second.
This is going in where Dunkin' Donuts was, over by canals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, anyone have any questions for Wayne? Dina, please call the roll.
Mr. Kipnis,
Aye.
Mr. Sweeney,
Aye.
Mr. Schmidt.
Aye.
Mr. Tenza.
Aye.
Mr. Waters.
Aye. Motion to approve S3W3 for Texas Roadhouse, 970 Route 73 North, Green Tree Square Shopping Center. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
And Fridays is gone, Texas Roadhouse coming in.
That's good. Anyone have any questions? Dina, please call the roll.
Mr. Kipnis,
Aye.
Mr. Sweeney,
Aye.
Mr. Schmidt.
Aye.
Mr. Tenza.
Aye.
Mr. Waters.
Aye. Motion to approve S3W3 for Qdoba Restaurant, 1041 Route 73 North, the view of Marlton. Can I have a motion?
So move.
Yeah, this is the,
Second.
yep, sorry, it was an old hair salon, they're converting to Qdoba's. This is north of Lincoln Drive on 73.
By LA Fitness, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone have any questions? Dina, please call the roll.
Mr. Kipnis,
Aye.
Mr. Sweeney,
Aye.
Mr. Schmidt.
Aye.
Mr. Tenza.
Aye.
Mr. Waters.
Aye. Any final questions for Wayne? Thank you, Wayne. General Counsel's report, Kelly?
Can I just?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
I wanted to apologize to Wayne. Earlier I had stated that Wayne had drafted a letter for that interconnect. It was actually John Gillespie.
Oh, that's,
Yeah, so it's been a while when John drafted that. I just was never signed off on.
Okay.
My apologies to Wayne.
All right. General Counsel report, Kelly?
Nothing,
Thank you, Kelly. Public comments, seeing no one from the public. I'm gonna close public comment, board comments. Byron, you wanna lead us off?
Yes, I wanted to thank everybody for their diligence in all the issues and the professional staff always doing a great job. And Ed, I meant to agree with you. I just put some bite in it, so I apologize if I sounded like I was opposing you. Okay,
You're going in
I love you.
the wrong direction, so I need to bring everybody back.
I love you, Ed, and it's a good suggestion. All right, thank you. I'm in Logan Airport, so I'm sorry I couldn't make it back in time.
All right, thanks, Byron. Mike, you want
Yeah.
to next?
Travel safe, Byron. Thanks to all. And Chris, thank you for hooking me up virtually tonight. Hope everyone is doing well. See you guys next month.
Take care, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
See you, Mike.
Rich?
Yeah, I want to thank you for holding up on the Toyota Toyota trucks. I mean, I'm buy American, hire American, so thanks again.
Rich, didn't I see you pulling here with a Honda Prius the other day?
I would be shot. I would be shot.
Traded for his Tesla. Lou?
Yeah, thank you, everyone, and thanks for the detailed discussion on the leasing. I think it's a good thing to put it out there for discussion with everybody. I appreciate that. And thanks to the whole team, professionals, the guys out in the field and women out in the field, if that's the case. And hopefully I'll be able to sit here with you next month again. Thank you.
Thank you. George? As always, I'd like to thank professionals, our staff, our administrative group, supervisors, and the operating personnel. You're the backbone. You're doing well. Thank you all.
Thank you. I want to thank our staff. I happened to be out a week ago and ran into resident local business owner Mark McKenna, who indicated to me that our staff did a wonderful job when they came and did some work at his home. So I appreciate that. I told him I really enjoyed hearing the good stories of things that our staff is doing, and I know they're doing a great job, but it's always great to have that reinforced and to hear from someone about that. I've never heard a bad thing about what our staff's doing, at least out in the public, but I know definitely I've got some good reports, and it was nice to hear that from Mark. Thank everybody. Appreciate all the board members and all your great input, and appreciate the staff, or all of our staff from the bottom up to our management. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate everything you do. Our professionals, thanks again for everything you folks do. Jeff, did you?
Yeah, Mike, I have an update on the labeling for the Art Flash.
That was quick.
Yeah, so the additional fee for the labels are if they install the labels on there, we can do that because they give us a fine detail print of where the label should be. And there is an $1,800 training fee, which consists of Jeff.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Joe.
You're welcome.
All right, well, thank you, everyone. Our next meeting is Wednesday, April 2nd, 2025, here in the court. Oh, no, it's in the courtroom this time, right? Is that correct?
We'll be presenting the budget.
Ah, okay. Well, better make sure we send out something. I.e. remind Ed Waters.
So those that are on boards, please, when Laura and I reach out to you, we're trying to get this done as soon as possible. So thank you for your cooperation.
I have a motion to adjourn.
Don't move.
All in favor? Aye. Adjourn.
See you, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
See you, Mike.
Take care, guys.
Okay.